Let's get to some news and notes. We have from around the league. A lot of stuff going on. First and foremost, let's get to this. Browns have had some news with their coaching staff, right? So earlier this week, this happened. The Cleveland Browns have named Mike Bloomgren as the new offensive line coach. And Mike was the head coach of Rice University in Texas. He does have some NFL experience. He came up under Bill Callahan, I believe, with the Jets. He's also worked his way up. He also was with David Shaw out in Stanford and some of those teams. And if you know David Shaw and Stanford, how they ran the ball out there, a guy that's from all accounts a positive teacher, a guy that's fiery, and like I said this on UCSS, the only thing I'm looking forward to is I want the guy that's going to be there to be a tough, SOB. He better. I want him in these guys' faces. I want this guy ready to go. I want him to be a teacher. I want him to be hands-on, and most importantly, I want them ready to go play physically. I think the camps have been soft. I think the way that they've been teaching them is soft. And I think that they've been babying these dudes way too much. I want some technique. I want to get down in the trenches. And I challenge Joel Bitonio. Joel, I think you got something left in the tank. DeJuan Jones, I think you could be a Pro Bowler. Jack Conklin, I like the way you bounced back this year. Wyatt Teller, I think you could be a little more dominant. But I'm challenging y'all to get in shape physically. I don't feel that the Cleveland Browns offensive line is lean and mean enough. I think Joel can lose some weight. I know DeJuan Jones need to stay at a certain level. I would be telling them dudes, hey, I need you to come back at this way. I'll be weighing them every week. Joel, if you lose a little weight, you can get a little something off your trunk. I guarantee you'll be out here and you'll be back at a Pro Bowl level. You played well this year. Hey, listen, Wyatt, I guarantee you slim down, you can get back to the point where you could be a little more dominant. Jack Conklin, I want you to get your legs up underneath you. This is the first place to start right here. It's always great to have a new face, a new sound, and a dude that's ready to go. But like I said before, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Kev, it's your pick. You better make it work. Make it work. It's your pick. Let's keep it pushing. Speaking of, Browns. Guess what? The NFL has announced that the Jets and Browns, in addition to the Jaguars, will play in London in 2025. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium will host the games featuring the Jets and the Browns, while the Jaguars will return to Wembley. So there you had it. That's courtesy of Ian Rappaport. The Browns will be playing in the UK. And by the way, Browns backers is everywhere. We're everywhere. Browns backers, they roll with the best of them. So I'm sure that there's some people, we got people that watch UCS out in Germany, out in Iceland, out all over the EU. So I'm sure that those fans will travel out there. Decent story. Hopefully I'm more interested in who the quarterback going to be out there than the Browns playing out there. But, it sucks a little bit because we got to wake up. That's a 9:00 game Eastern here. And that's rough. But at least if we could if we win the game or if we smoke them and get them out the way, then we can have the rest of our day to ourselves. So that's the little news and notes out there. Browns will play in London. It sucks because they will take one of your games, your home games, so you'll lose a home game. But at the end of the day, it's a decent look if you can go out there and get a win. I'm more interested in getting the win than where it's at. So we'll just have to make sure we can get that done. Let's get to this. Myles Garrett. Now, we talked about the breaking news of Myles Garrett and how Myles wants to do this, and he wants to make sure that everything is square and secure and that the team is going to win and that they need to show him something. And this is even more of a reason why Myles Garrett, to me, deserves all of the credit in the world, and people need to put more respect on his name. Myles Garrett, earning Associated Press First Team All-Pro. The AP All-Pro team has chosen national panel of 50 NFL media members. First Team All-Pro, I believe this is his fourth time making First Team All-Pro. Again, You look at his numbers this year, he had identical almost to the years he had as defensive player of the year last year. Only thing detracted and taken away from that is the fact that the Browns won 3 games. But when you look at it, one of the most dominant defensive ends in the game, and what I expect is the Cleveland Browns, and mark my words, there's certain ways you can show somebody they like you. You can tell them, you can show them, or you could pay them. And I think the Browns might have to default to just paying Myles Garrett if they want to show how well they feel about him. So I look for extension to come up here as well. I think that might be the next thing. And then just talk about it, just to put it in perspective of the dominance. So you know, Myles Garrett also won PFF's award for the best pass rusher. His 24 best pass rusher award winner, 92.8 pass rushing grade, which is first in the NFL, 83 pressures, which is tied for first, 23.1 pass rush win rate, first, and 18.2% pressure rate. So those are all monstrous rates. That just shows you how dominant he is. And I see all y'all out there. I see all you draft guys out there. And I listen, Abdul Carter, if it was me, if you were trading down, you could trade down to with the Raiders or trade back with the Giants and still get in the range and take Abdul Carter. That's what I would do. That's my trade down option. I would definitely do. And when you take a look at his pass rush rim rate with Abdul Carter in college, his pass rush rim rate was higher than Myles Garrett's was at Texas A&M. So if you can imagine Abdul Carter at that position and those two guys playing, I think that they would be monsters. The only thing I got, and the only thing that's a detraction, and it still doesn't preclude me from taking him, is Abdul Carter. I don't know how you play him. I don't know how you play him as a every down end. They may need to play him as in the way they were playing with JOK, which to find some ways to make sure that he could be effective on the game. I mean, because he's another, I'm going to run around these blocks. And so if he can get to a place where he could be an every down guy, then you got something where it's ridiculous. Then you got something where it's going to be a cheat code. But putting him on the other side of Myles Garrett as we continue to look forward during the year is going to be something that's very tantalizing, especially when they go to the combine. Because I'm going to tell you what, he's going to run something crazy. He's going to run something fierce. He's going to run a crazy 40 time. And we're going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, man. So with that being said, man, before we wrap it up, I want to let you guys know something about the way we're going to do the draft coverage here. Look, trust me. I said this on UCSS. There is not a such thing as being a flip-flopper when it comes to the draft, because it's all about opinion. It's all about, what you think and the way you would go. And also there's going to be a bunch of information that's going to come out that's going to give us more information on these guys, whether it be pro days, whether it be the Senior Bowl, whether it be individual workouts, whether it be the combine, going back to look at some of the tape, injuries, different things in the medical, the things, how they interviewed, how in shape are they, any injuries that we didn't know about. All of these things are going to be very fluid as we work our way to the draft. But the cool thing about it here on the channel is we're going to be very draft heavy. We're going to be very draft heavy in what we do on UCSS. And this is another unique way of looking at it, because we've been at a place where we've always known who the quarterback was going to be. We've already known that we didn't have a top, number one overall pick. We've always known pretty much who was going to start on these roster positions. And for the first time, you now have an opportunity with a number 2 pick, with a couple of 3 picks, with an opportunity to trade back in a high enough pick. There's a lot of things on the board. So everything that we're talking about is going to be great conversation. It's going to be some good fun. Make sure you comment in the comment section. That's the place to be. And as you know me, I try to get in the comment section during UCSS and all the other stuff to interact with the people. So let us know what you think. Is there anybody off limits to you or positions you don't want to see at number 2? And